Hello and welcome to Heartcast, where we'll say goodbye to Bloodshot for a little while. I'm Humphrey Erm.
Wait, what? And I'm Christian Claus.
Lifeline, give me Bloodshot Volume 6, The Glitch and Other Tales. Alright, I heard your alarmed voice there. So by that I mean in a not a metaphorical sense, but like a meta sense.
Okay, now you need to explain that to me. What do you mean with
Now,
a
this is the last
metaphorical meta
volume
sense?
of Bloodshot.
Oh, okay.
So what's called, yes, like with a lot of other series. So what's yes, like with Archer and Armstrong as well. It's gonna kind of like be again. I don't like the word rebooted, but they're gonna come up with like a new like numbered series after this.
Okay.
So basically, like story wise, like serialization wise, the previous Bloodshot volume ended all of that. As you notice with this one, it was like more of an anthology title.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of which, what did you think about this anthology?
It was okay. I didn't think it was anything special. I felt like the stories were a little bit too short to actually like get invested. Like there were a lot of things where I was like, okay, now where's the next page? Like I wanted to see how this ended, and because most of them weren't like short stories, so they didn't have like a beginning, middle, and end. It was all just beginning, and you were like, "Come on, I want to see the rest of the story." Like the one where he and this girl who had also like electric powers or whatever were going to break into some military fort where they did something with Iraqi children. I was like, I want to see what this is, and then it just ends, and it's just like, come on.
Oh well, speaking of that though, you don't remember, you don't recognize anything there?
No, dude, I don't recognize anything, man.
Yeah, no, but it's like sort of like what would you call it? Like an extended scene from volume two.
I don't remember,
Because
dude.
they, you don't
Like
remember?
like at the end. No, I don't, dude. Don't even like. Oh, you don't remember? No, I don't remember. This was like a year and a half ago,
Oh, would it
dude.
have been? Damn.
Yes, it's been like over a year that I read that. I do not remember these little details of like, oh right. I mean, I don't even remember what happened in volume two.
Well, it's when he comes in. It's like right before Harbinger Wars. So it's like when he sneaks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, great, good for you. I don't. I have no idea.
Well, okay, if you don't want to be so snappy, this is an extended scene from that volume. We didn't get to see
Oh,
what
interesting.
happened. Like we only kind of get to see them go past this, and then here we get like a whole scene of like what went on. So though it does remind me though, like, cause she has disappeared. I honestly would love to see her back
Mm.
again. Not that she was like super duper interesting, but with any kind of like not just like a serialized story, but sort of this crossover, what's called shared universe. You just feel like any kind of Fred isn't just a Fred, You feel like it'd be something about her, like maybe she used that money that Bloodshot got her to like do something special, and or she gets
Right.
targeted or something. I don't know, just something. So, but yeah, definitely, that's not that's just a little segment, so to speak.
Well, do you want to just go through each story and then talk about it
I
quickly?
suppose we could. I mean, since there's no like bigger overall picture, so to speak, I guess it might as well.
Right. I mean, it depends on what your questions
I
are,
don't
but
really have any because it'd be kind of like doing the same usual questions for each issue, which we'll kind of do now, anyways.
right.
So yeah, so what's called issue 24. So honestly, I like the what's called. I felt some of the drawings were a bit off, but overall the feel was very nice. Like it felt a little bit more classic European somehow.
Yeah.
So though I gotta say, yes, looking for the thumbnails here, I'm not too happy with the posing on Bloodshot on page 11. I mean, I get what he did, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure I would have understood unless it said snap. I don't know. Just that's.
I guess.
I mean, again,
I mean, it's hard to kind of convey something like that. I mean,
yeah, in one single
in that
image.
kind of
Yeah.
motion. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's a very nice image. Just it's kind of floating, floating in water like that, and yes, the menacing look on him, his face in shadow, and
Mm.
even yes, like little extra material there. It's a long swing from Georgia to the Crimean Peninsula. Like, oh god, he swam that
Crimea.
whole way. It's just a nice little like throwaway line to show the badass it is.
Yeah. It's again one of those things where I feel like it's kind of ridiculous the way Bloodshot is with his nanites. I don't know. It just feels so
Too
weird.
OP or
Yeah, again, I mean we've discussed this before in previous like episodes with him, but he is just way too OP,
mm,
and especially now with his like facial reconstruction thing that he does.
mm.
Now that was the shark jump. I was jumping over the shark right
Well,
there.
again, then they jumped the shark in the very first issue.
God damn it! They did it in the first. I don't
we,
even
we,
remember
we, we've
that.
discussed it too because he did it once again later and you were complaining about it and I mentioned to you again saying like, well, he did that in the very first issue.
See, I can't remember this
and
shit.
heck
Who remembers this
and
shit?
heck even better, Chris, because I'm assuming you didn't read the last thing because it was just the black and white director's cut thing.
I did read it, but I was like looking at it, going like, I don't remember what the first one was, so I can't like compare really. Like, I don't know what's different here.
Okay, because he does this facial recognition in that issue.
Yeah, but it's just like, why doesn't he use it more often
Well, I
then?
believe he says it in that issue as well. It's one of those like little cheap weaknesses they give.
I feel so shitty about this now because I'm just like,
Let's see
I'm complaining, and
here.
you're just like, yeah, well, dude, it was in issue one. He told you this, and oh, it was in that issue. He told you, and I was like, ugh, I feel like such an idiot.
Okay, no, it doesn't say here. But I'm pretty sure I've read in one of the issues there was something along the lines of that it's like puts him into overdrive. Like it takes so much like energy and resources of his nanites to keep that up.
Well, he says it in the next issue where he's with his widow, or that guy that he was supposed to
Oh
be.
yeah.
I think he says it in that, like, when he wants to be wants to like look like her husband,
Yeah, he probably said something there.
and yeah, he says something there. But yeah, but still, I mean, even with that, I'm like, come on. I mean, he uses like if you look at this issue right here, he had no problems going in and out of disguises and still kicking ass. And this was like a couple of hours long, this whole sequence. I mean, I doubt this all happened in like 15 minutes. So I feel like it's kind of cheap to say like, oh, but he uses so much energy from it, he can't like sustain it. It's like bullshit. He just
Yeah,
did,
yeah, no, but it's
you
sustaining it
know.
in terms of doing other stuff too, I think.
Yeah, but he is doing other stuff in this. He's
Yeah, but
he's
then
he's
he doesn't have the
fighting
image
people.
though. Then his like facial recognition thing goes disappears.
Yeah, but only because he got shot.
So yeah, but still, I don't know.
I would just assume that it's kind of like an HP bar, right?
Drains.
Yeah, it drains at a certain point. Like say while he's in disguise, he's constantly draining, right? And then he gets shot, right? And then he was saying, okay, HP goes down even further, and then he decides to turn off, or it turns off automatically so that it conserves his health, but he can still be a badass. And then he just whatever his nanites recuperate him, and then he just puts on the disguise again. I just feel like it's something that could have been used in like every single appearance that he's ever had. He could have used this in some point, and things would have been easier. Lives would have been saved. I don't know. I just feel like if you give him this kind of power, then he should be using it.
Again, I don't know. It's a mix of stuff. I mean, honestly, the thing I was thinking of as sort of like an equivalent was, did you ever see? I think it was called Spider-Man Unlimited.
I think I saw like a couple of
Yeah,
episodes.
Spider-Man like in space, future, whatever.
Yeah.
because his new suit there had what's called like invisibility. I remember myself as a kid even thinking, well, why doesn't he use that more often? But then like if the first episode he used it, like if he used it to sneak by some guards or something, and then he as he like gets by them, he turns it off and goes, "Whew, man, that that invisibility really heats up the suit." So I'm assuming if he kept it on for longer periods of time, he would like literally fry inside it or something.
Yeah, but still, I mean, even
I
then,
mean, I agree with you. It always feels a bit of a cheap kind of thing because you have a really cool thing, and as a writer, you realize you can't use it all the time because it would, make things too easy. But how do you, yeah, keep it back?
I just feel like with Bloodshot, you could always just say something like, it's programmed in or something like that. That they've taken out that programming. I mean, this was done in 2000. I mean, this issue takes place in the year
Mm.
2000. So, it could have been that this was a different software update or whatever where he could do this, and the newer ones can't do it because they realized that it was a liability or something like that. I don't know.
I suppose. I don't know. Again, I mean, we've discussed it. He's this kind of like a little bit too much of a Swiss Army knife. I mean, it's fine
Yeah.
enough with the whole, okay, it's what's called the regeneration and all that stuff, enhanced strength. That's just the stuff that allows for the coolness. So, but then, yeah, it stretches out with the whole like technology control. I mean, honestly, here, to me, that's bigger thing with the whole taking over the electrical grid.
Hmm.
It just feels kind of like, oh God, wow.
Yeah, it's such a. I mean, I would kind of say it's a Deus Ex Machina, but it's not really
Yeah, because he's doing it
because you
himself.
know that he has it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it just feels
I believe
like
the literary term is called ass pull.
Aspel.
Ass pull, pull it out of your ass.
Oh, okay. Um, I don't know. It feels like a lot like those alien mothership destruction things.
Mm.
Where you destroy one thing and then everyone just kind of collapses. Um, that's what it kind of felt like. Like he found the one source and he's just like, I'm going to explode everything, and then everyone just falls and melts and stuff like that. I don't know.
No, but you're right. It's exactly, just like in Avengers and Independence Day and all that stuff. But I guess it's just this nice,
So,
clean way of, wrapping things up.
speaking of wrapping things up, is that Putin in the end?
I don't know. I mean, this is 2000, but even then, I feel, he couldn't have looked that different, could he?
Exactly. I mean, he has blonde hair, right?
Actually, why not? Let's see here. I'm gonna have a quick little look here. Hopefully, I won't be put on a watch list.
Just take a look at the image with Putin on the like topless on the horse.
Yeah, but that's recently.
That's not that recent.
I don't think. If it is, it's a very bad caricature.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, he's talking about like when the time comes to reclaim Crimea. It's just like, what? And I'm not quite sure what they're talking about. They're talking about using, uh, are they talking about using Bloodshot or what?
I'm not sure because I can't really remember anything like in any other issues regarding Russia's involvement.
Right,
I mean, besides of course Exo
right.
Manowar's invasion.
Mm, mm.
So as and of course the Armor Hunter stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just doing this whole like gambit thing. It's what's called the Americans, or rather, Project Rising Spirit is all like, aha, we got the better of those Ruskies. And it's like,
Right.
aha, we knew you'd do that. So now this was actually a good thing for us. So it's like an average episode of Young Justice. Good
Mm.
lord, that was too much there.
Which is coming back.
Yeah, I don't know if I even care anymore. It's too long. I mean, again, I'll watch it, but yeah.
I'll watch it, but I won't be happy about it.
Yeah, I'll what's called I'll grace the show with my presence, with my attention.
Yeah, because they really need it, Humphrey.
Exactly. I'm an influencer.
All right. No.
How many
Um,
times have I influenced you? Sure, it might be one-on-one influencer, but I
yeah,
just go up to
true.
people one-on-one and convince them to watch them.
Or to read Valiant comics or something like that.
Ah, well. But
The funny thing is, I'm just kind of thinking like, how many things have I like convinced you to do? I think like pretty much nothing, right?
Ah, yeah, I mean, I don't know in terms of things.
I keep trying to tell you to exercise and eat healthy, but that doesn't stick.
So yeah, but it's I remember it. I just sort of put it away in a box in my mind and
I
justify.
remember it while I'm stuffing my face with chips and Coke.
Hey, I've been keeping it up, so it's called Lonely Weekends now.
That's very good.
So
All right, so let's move on to the next issue.
yes, we're easily again, but that's the thing, as you said, it wasn't really much importance in this volume.
Yeah, well, again, these are all just like small stories. Either they're director's cuts
Mm.
or little behind the scenes things, or how do you call it? Like yeah, the cut out scenes. So it's just kind of like okay, yeah, these are nice little snippets of stuff, but there's not much to talk about because it's just like yeah, it's a story. I mean, at least the first two stories were like their own stories, and the rest were just kind of like either gags
Yeah,
or
segments.
yeah.
I mean, next up is technically a stat. It's training day, that one pager.
Oh, is that? I thought that was kind of linked to the next story.
I don't think so, because the next story is called The Glitch.
Yeah, but I thought that like the um because they say like your job is to make sure it never ever gets free, and aren't those then the people that go attack him or to hunt him then in the next
I
one?
don't think so. There's nothing to indicate that it's specifically them or anything. And if you look in
Yeah, I
the
guess.
what's called contents page, so it does say like training day page one, and then the glitch page
Yeah,
three.
I know, but I'm just maybe this is like a pre-roll thing. I don't know, but I just feel like isn't it kind of weird to go through the whole thing of having like literally getting a writer, an artist, a colorist, a letterer, and an editor all together just for a one-page comic.
Hey, you gotta fill up the volume somehow.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I would just be like, just slap an advertisement in there.
Yes, in the volume
Have
too.
the page make money for us. Yeah, of course.
So put another what's called put the Return of Quantum and Woody again.
Yes.
Uh, and all the other stuff we've been seeing, or maybe the Harada, on the aircraft carrier. I think those are the ones we've seen the
mm,
most.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably, but that's already happened. So
Mm. But yeah, no, it's but yeah, the glitch, that definitely was my favorite. So again, it definitely doesn't feel like, a whole thing, but a cool concept, shown really well. And I don't know, just beautifully tragic. I take your silence as agreement.
yes, I mean, I do agree. I mean, it was kind of yeah one of those bittersweet kind of things.
Mm. I really like it because, again, it's one of those things I mentioned and actually wrote this down as a question in a sense. Because I like it that with these stories, we kind of get a little bit more exploration of well, it wasn't even a status quo for us as a reader, because it was broken from the
Mm.
very first issue of the series. But I like this whole idea. I mean, that whole double page spread of him running through Syria. I just
Yeah,
like it just feels so cruel. This whole like telling him who, like, like telling him he is someone. He just goes like targets in small house next to the Maronite church. We think he controls the jihadists who killed your buddies, Sean. It's just your buddies. Like, no, no, you're lying to him,
yeah,
and he's just totally
yeah.
into it. And it's just the whole idea, like, yeah, they just turned him into a real life action hero with the, corniest motivations, but it's necessary to make him work, work correctly. And yes, the idea here that the whole memory thing, kind of, well, as I said, it kind of glitches on him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then the fact he manages to go all the way from Syria to America.
Well, I mean, he also swam from Crimea to Ukraine or wherever that was.
Yeah,
So
and with his face recognition thing, I guess he can easily steal someone's passport and just get that appearance.
exactly. Yeah. Can I say one thing
Yes.
though? On page 42, when whatever her name is, Kristen, uh, screams like that, um, could it be that this is the same artist who did uh, that like comedy erotica strip of Superman and Lois Lane?
What?
Do you not have you not seen this?
Well, I am
It's
aware
not
of that.
erotic.
There
It's not.
must be something like that, but
No, no, no. I guess it's not erotic. I think I misspoke, but it's basically so Lois and Superman are getting like intimate, and then he opens up his pants or his takes off his suit or whatever, and then she goes like, "Oh my god, what's that?" And it's like, "It's my penis," and it's like, "Well, what are the pincers for? It's to grab onto you. Why?
oh,
What's so
that
weird about
sounds
it?" She's basically
familiar.
saying, "Yeah," and that scream, that look, that art style looks so similar to that strip. And I'm kind of thinking I should probably Google it and see if that is by that artist. I mean, that would be kind of hilarious if it was
Well,
true.
yeah, do that. I don't know. I mean, again, that's fun.
I don't even know what to look for.
Yeah, true. I guess it's a little bit too common of a thing.
I'm trying to like Google like Lois Lane Superman penis. And I'm
Pincer
like,
penis.
no, that's not. Yeah. Uh, Alien penis. Ah, I found it.
Yeah. Can I find it too if you just search that?
Yeah, here it is. Ah, okay, maybe it. Okay, it wasn't. No, it's not the same artist.
All right. I just have to. After you said that, I just have to.
I'll
Oh
put a
man,
link to
it's.
it in the
Oh
show
god, I
notes.
really don't want to spell it. As I was finishing writing penis, what's called it like it had all kinds of things that start with those those letters. So it's going like
I'll put a link to the
okay.
I'll put a link to it in the show notes so all the listeners can look at it if you want. It's not safe for work, so it's not like you don't see anything. But
Yeah, no, I saw it. I've seen it before, but yeah, that's not at all the style.
no, it was just kind of like it looked like it a little bit, if my memory served me correctly. But then I looked at it again. It is a hilarious comic. So
Well, he's got to be alien somehow, besides his powers. But anyways, as per usual, we drifted off from Valiant to their competitors.
yes,
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I like this. I mean, it's one of those things where it's such a sort of silly scenario in a sense. So it's kind of like I don't know, like as he confronts her, it's kind of like a normal story. This could have been like a kind of normal drama of a sort. But then it's like I don't know, it's just one of those things where you just get so silly with like he's talking, going through his memories, but then he also says something like so I have Sean's memories. I think I have all his emotions. Doesn't that make me Sean?
right.
It's one of those it goes from like a plausible kind of scene of drama to like then I don't know. It's
It, it kind of feels like he just wants to have sex with someone.
oh yeah, that was
No,
great though.
no,
That was hilarious.
what?
I don't know. It just feels so silly. Just
When they sleep with each other and it's like should I be Sean? It's like no,
actually, could you
I
maybe
want you to
be
be
Chris
you.
Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Okay, now not Chris Evans. Actually, let's go through all the Chris's.
I hope I would be one of them.
Oh God!
Um,
Oh God! Oh God! Change back! Change back!
okay. All right. Um, yeah, but it does feel kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's like a more of an emotional thing. Like he's trying to say the right things just because he has the emotions, but he can't articulate it.
Mm.
So I did feel sympathy for Bloodshot in this because he's so confused, and that's what's so sad about it. He just doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what he needs to do. He has feelings. He has these emotions, and he doesn't really know what to do with them. So he thinks he can remember, but he's not really, and it's kind of glitching back and forth. And so I like it. I like that idea.
Yeah. Well,
If he just didn't have so many weird powers that made him so, you know, just too perfect, he would be this perfect character.
again, yes, as we discussed all the times we discussed it, he has the whole protein thing as his like weakness.
Yeah, weakness in air
Mm.
quotes.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. It's not, it does feel like it has works overall, and when he does, I mean, the only time he was really weak about it, besides like the last volume when he like was crawling away in the desert, that would have been like in Harbinger Wars, like his volume of that. where he was like super weak and he had to like go into that like what's called slaughterhouse.
Right.
So, but it's also one of those things here because
Also,
I really just love the whole, the way he kills her because it's just, they're having this emotional moment. It's like just so sweet, and it's not even like
mm.
this whole, no, must fight it. It's like totally turned off. Like that whole connection thing is gone now. He kills her and he feels nothing because again, he doesn't.
Do you think he actually does feel nothing?
I don't know. I mean, it gets tricky with that whole scenario. It could be that of course, that he sees it all happen. So as a memory, it could, like be stuck inside him, and maybe the different consciousness see it happen. But even so, like for her, like imagine just being with someone and suddenly just, you're having a very natural conversation, and then just suddenly just goes. Well, first of all, he makes a great face. I love that beaver face he does.
Yeah.
Again, he's not. I'm not gonna. I'm not criticizing it.
And then Kristen's like, "Wait, are you coming again?"
Actually, that would be a good reaction image. Just go. No, but it's a great drawing. I feel
Uh,
it's because, again, I always find it interesting when someone can draw like an odd expression. Like even
mm.
the one after that is actually a very interesting expression because it's not totally neutral. Like he is like tensing up, but it's not this like hatred or anger either. Just this total. I don't know. I mean, we got to say like the art is beautiful in this story.
It is. It
I
is. Yeah.
mean,
But it's kind of weird. Like maybe I mean she must be thinking that this guy is totally overreacting for at like her having sex with another guy.
I shouldn't have told you.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what she said. She was like, "Well, did you ever have sex with another guy while I was gone?" I was like, "Yeah, I had sex with this one guy," and then he murders her. So she must be like, I mean, she doesn't know what's going on. She's probably like, "Oh my god, this guy's killing me because I slept with another guy."
So well, it was just what was his name? Warren. Yeah, just fucking
Warren,
Warren.
fuck Warren.
No, no, don't.
Yeah,
No, but it's nice. It's just but this is what I mean though.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice fucking Warren.
No, but it's just what I
What are
mean
you talking
though.
about?
As I said, like I would love some even more stories like this set within this not continuity, but this like status quo. Because I just think again,
Yeah.
it's definitely not enough to just make constant stories, once a month. Like if you were to make like full-sized issues of just this kind of stuff all the time. But I would love to just have like, you have like a group of writers or something and just truly exhaust an idea. And that doesn't mean like doing it like The Simpsons where you just make it, drag on. But like really, okay, here's the concept. What can we do with this? Like how can we play with this? And then, we continue off.
Well, I mean, again, yeah, I do like. I've said this before. I mean, my favorite Dragon Ball Z episodes are the filler episodes, just because you saw so much more of the characters
Mm.
just interacting with each other, and it was so much fun. And I feel like these are also very like what I liked about a lot of these short stories is just you got to know the characters more. I mean, it was less about. I guess it was just a less about this whole huge thing happening. Like usually they have this, 4 issue, um, arc, 4 or 5 issue arc that has to be some sort of huge payoff, and there's some huge bad guy. Harada comes in and fucks some stuff up, and it's just like one of those things where you're just like, it's always about the stuff that's happening and less. I mean, there are character elements, but it's less. And with these, I feel like it's so much better. You can really focus on the character because that's what the story is about. I mean, necessarily, this story has no point to it other than get us more familiar with Bloodshot. And that's it. And I love it because it's such an emotional and personal story that yeah, it's fun to read and it makes you feel better than for Bloodshot, who you're then going to see in the next comic when he comes out and be like, oh, but he's hurting inside.
Yeah, but it's also this like I totally agree with you. But it's also the fact that it's an instance. Because I feel like, of course, you can have a favorite episodes in like a serialized story, favorite chapters and stuff like that. But when it's more of these kind of what would you call what's the opposite of serialized? Yeah, episodic or
I guess, yeah.
because the thing is those they stand on their own a lot more. I mean, there's a reason people can think back to their favorite what's called like Simpsons episodes because that whole episode existed on its own. You know, with yes, with like
Right.
bare minimum of like maybe callbacks or running gags.
Right. But when you're looking back at something like, I don't know, what would be a serial? I mean, just like Game of Thrones, for example, you're mostly quoting or thinking about certain
Mm,
moments, like the Battle of the Bastards or
right, Red
something else like
Wedding.
that. It's just like, yeah, the Red Wedding, but you don't remember the episode. You're not like, oh, that was season whatever. I mean, I don't remember what season the Red
Yeah, because
Wedding was
it
in.
flows. Like even if you might remember like
Yeah,
the core concepts of it,
yeah,
but even so, like because and then that's fine, because it's a one story. You're always on to the next one. But with episodic content, like each thing can kind of be on its own. I feel like even like Rick and Morty, which has some serialization in the background. They have like their concepts and things that they're poking fun at per episode.
right, right.
So I mean, like I've told you, like my favorite one is the Total Rick Goal, the one with all the
Oh yeah,
parasites.
oh
Because
yeah, of
again, it
course.
stands out. It has a concept. I don't think there's much of a callback to anything, but it's just very fun.
No, they're constantly calling back,
Oh
Humphrey.
yeah, true. Yes, but actual ones, not fake parasite ones.
Okay, okay.
That's what I mean, though. Like that's my favorite one, and it wasn't super important in terms of like the whole Rick and Morty mythos. It's nothing like that. It's just it brought something interesting in, and I really it resonated. And that's kind of what I wish sometimes we'd have more in these kinds of stories. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I mean, they've been doing this. I mean, obviously, Valiant hasn't been doing it as long as the others, but I mean, I guess they know what they're doing, or I don't know. Anyways, anything more about the glitch, or
Nope. I guess we said it all.
all right? Then next, protocol.
Yeah, I had no idea what this was about. It looked weird. The art was weird.
It had a lot of digital things. I
Um,
believe he's probably using like a
yeah.
3D modeling program for backgrounds.
Oh, you
Well,
think?
if you look in the second panel on the first page, again, it's not impossible to draw like that, but just the way it's set up, it feels very like sterile and very like mathematically correct.
Well, I think it's supposed to, right? I mean,
Yeah, like I said, it's not impossible, and I'm not saying that they don't draw over it, but I don't know. I guess the way it is, like, it feels super like mathematically even, like digitally even.
yeah. I just had no idea what was going on throughout this whole thing, and then before I kind of could think about what was going on, or when I started realizing what was happening, it was already over,
Mm.
and I was just like, okay, next.
This in particular was like you mentioned about how none of these stories were like a whole story. They were just like the beginnings.
Mm,
And this definitely felt as again, even though I was just saying how much I love not having to have like a whole important story or like it's fine with filler. This isn't even filler in that sense. It's just yeah, just honestly, do you know what it reminds me of? It
mm.
reminds me of when I was like a kid and I wanted to like sort of like draw an action series. And but the thing is I don't figure out the actual motivations or concepts or anything. It's just kind of like, okay, guys
Right.
running and we got people and I want it to be all serious and we have like, people saying important things and like, oh, we got to do this and that. But I'm not thinking ahead. And again, I don't want to say that as like as a diss to that's both writer and artist, Howard Shaken. But yeah, I mean, again, it's a backup thing. It's just it's filling up this what's called 25th issue anthology title.
Yeah, but I still don't understand what's going on. So a woman had took a call on loudspeaker instead of on the headphones, and now Bloodshot's coming to kill them. What? And there's the helicopter going to kill him, and the black guy with the microphone is apparently in the helicopter, which I didn't realize, and I have no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that's just weird.
and then they're behind the door, and then they're gonna be kept there. For, I don't know. It's just I don't know.
So yeah, again, it's I don't think we have much more to discuss about it.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it was an odd one. But again, I guess it's just a mixed bag either way.
yeah, I guess.
And we have a fun little drawing. So I hope it wasn't triggering to you. Nah, I'm sorry, that
Yeah.
was mean. I was gonna, I don't know, I like the drawing style here. So, but I like seeing like again, not this as the main art style for a book, but
Yeah, but it's cute little pinup drawing, I
yeah,
guess. Well, yeah, so literally call it
mm,
pinup.
a J Fabaris. So now it's just kind of a neat little thing. So and kind of stylishly set up too, like the fading of the what's called the pink like was rectangle in the background.
Yeah, well, that's a very typical thing to do nowadays with art. I mean, my girlfriend does that quite a lot with her drawings.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's it's, but it's like it just feels nice because I like the fact that his speech balloon cuts into it, but then we have the negative space around as well.
Mm,
I don't know,
mm.
just some nice elements to just break it up without being like too busy, so to speak. We're getting a lot of nude, what's called, maybe not too much nude. It's I guess it's here and then in the what's called director's
Mm.
cut. A lot of nude bloodshot. I was saying.
Oh yeah,
All right,
you like that nude bloodshot?
who doesn't?
All
I'm
right.
I'm I'm sure Karen thought so. Whatever her name was,
Oh yeah,
Kirsten. Oh God, totally
Kristen.
forgot her name already. Poor girl.
Wow, Humphrey. Wow, she died.
For my sins.
Yeah.
All right, and then we kind of discussed this already in a sense, but we can go through it
Mm-hmm.
again. So the heart of the matter. So because yeah, I mean, again, I'm not gonna go through like the whole issue that this is from, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna like infiltrate there, and that the girl's that Sayat who was from the first volume as well. Is the one you see in.
But I feel like, but I feel like issue 25 is far enough away from the issue that it was from that they could have written it into some sort of caption.
Yeah, something, I guess. I mean, we're all hearing it from
Because
her
I
point
was
of
just
view.
looking through it. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking through it and I was like, you know, it could have been something like referencing or like, see Bloodshot issue, whatever. I just feel like there could have been something in there.
So yeah, no, I agree in that sense, but I don't know. I mean, I recognize it even the first time I read it.
Mm,
But it's also
it's
where we discussed
generic.
the whole issue with like different artists and such, especially in the cases of like these two, so the Sayat and Kara. They don't really have a unique sort of design, so we can like kind of, aha, that's those characters from before. I gotta say, I mean, even though they're like prioritizing spirits, I don't know, I can't help but feel bad for them like getting killed here, especially under like the pretenses. I mean, it's all about like, oh, what's called, I can help him, get a defibrillator machine. Like, everyone's kind of like doing something, like, they're helping, and it's just like kill him.
Well, I mean, I think you're in the wrong place to start talking about who is it correct to kill and not. I mean, we are reading Valiant here.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I agree, but it's just I'm not saying like it's like oh I'm very upset. It's just kind of because it's one thing about like fooling people by their vices, but when you're fooling them like this in terms of like their like in terms of good nature, I don't know.
Mm.
Like it's not like I'm not saying like this ruins the characters or anything. Just in general, yes, I feel kind of like ah,
Yeah, but bad guys will help other bad guys as well.
I
So would you
suppose.
feel bad for like, you know, like say if like I don't know, some Nazis were going around and trying to heal each other, would you kill them? If you were in that
Are they
situation?
actual Nazis or?
You would, right? No, actual Nazis, not yeah.
So yeah, again, well, again, it's depends on the scenario in terms of obviously in terms of self-preservation, yes. Though I'm not sure I would have like the guts. I'm not sure if I was the one like with the advantage if I could. No, but like, you know,
Okay, Humphrey, I understand a lot of things would have to happen to be for there to be a point where you're standing face to face with Nazis, that you have a gun and you have the upper hand, that you can actually shoot someone and the guts to actually shoot someone. I know, Humphrey, this is very, very far fetched, but
yeah. No,
just
I get it, but
humor me
it's,
for a second.
I know, no, I get your point. I mean, again, it's the go-to as well. Nazis. It's the only people in the world that's
Yeah.
okay to kill.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, from Bloodshot's perspective, and we've kind of seen this. He sees them as bad people and they need to die. That's his thing. There's no question about it. He just kills the bad people that he believes are bad people.
Well, it's like he said. I mean,
Doesn't
he
care
was.
about who they are.
That was like he said. He was like checking their computers just then. You know, it's all about the, I guess,
Yeah,
illicit
yeah.
warfare stuff.
It's one of those, like one of those things where the superhero comes in and is like, "All right, the whole town is evacuated." Just like to cover your asses.
So yeah, little Batman v Superman. We
Right,
we've evacuated this entire city area. There. Now, will you please stop complaining about Man of Steel?
right.
Ah, well. But yeah, I will say props to Bloodshot's acting abilities. I like his like dad persona.
Mm-hmm.
I need a toilet, damn it! You told me there'd be a toilet. I mean, even like if there's Knucklehead won't. I don't know. It's maybe it's a persona inside of him that he could bring out. But it's
Maybe,
still, I don't
maybe.
know. It's just something fun because he's otherwise just this super sort of like grim, serious, deadpan character. Sort of just the idea of him like taking on this like image and even acting it out, even if it's not for that long.
I really love his shirt too. I did it in Area 52.
Mm. Well, again, he looks. I mean, he has the image. Though
Mm.
honestly, I'm a little curious here though about the logistics of his powers. Because I'm looking at the page 67, the last three panels. We see him
Mm.
transforming back to his normal self.
Yep.
And again, it's easy enough to explain away with mumbo jumbo science stuff. But like, where is he keeping that mass as he's expanding into like his fully muscled form?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be kind of fun if he actually had like like a beer gut, and that's where he was keeping it. And then he's just like, okay, disperse it. I don't know. I mean, again, it's not important. It doesn't break anything. It's just something I thought of when I saw, because you can see the comparison there.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things where you're just like, you know, you're discussing the physics of a man who can't die because he has nanites in his body, and also he can shapeshift, like just
You're
generally,
really bugged
and
about
just
that.
no, I am bugged about it because it's stupid. If he has it, I mean, he used it like in every single story in this thing, and he only used it like twice before. I mean, like, come on, use it. Anyway,
Ah, well. Anything else on what's called hard on matter?
nope.
All right then. Now a little fun one. I guess it's called "Is This You?" I like it.
I guess Valiant knows their audience.
Yeah, no, it's just fun. I mean, but it's one of those things I've never seen in real life. It must be like something old from like the 50s or something. Because I've seen it parodied in old stuff so many times.
Yes, yeah.
I like the word too. I mean, it doesn't sound correct. The wimp squeak. Like I don't know. It's like it's either you're either a wimp or a pipsqueak. Somebody's a
Mm.
wimp squeak.
Yeah, but it's so unrealistic depiction. A guy like that with a hot girl like that, come on.
Yeah, actually, you actually honestly, I'd be curious too. How did they meet?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, that's the story I want to know. Tell me that story, please. So, because yes, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun. I love the art style. It's obviously this kind of classic kind of drawing style.
Haha, remember me? He's become such a
She
man.
says with a screaming face.
Yeah.
That was cute. I like kind of fake ads like this, even if they can be a little on the
Mm,
nose sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
I like the little warning at the end. What's it say? Pride Rising Spirit is not responsible in the event of instantaneous death and/or global extinction events. Please consume nanites responsibly.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun, and of course,
And they handedly blocked out the address so you can't send stuff there.
well, of course. I mean, what's that comedian who said that about why they have to have phone numbers be like 555 in shows?
Well, because 505 doesn't
Exactly,
exist.
but he had like a whole point about that. Like, do you know why they do that? So dumb idiots don't try to call the numbers. So
Right.
because that's the thing, people are gonna hear a number on a movie in a movie, and they're gonna be all like, "Oh, I'm gonna call that person." Like, he's not real, you idiot.
Right. Well, because you're interested in like who has that number. That's the thing. Like you're like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
let's see who has that number.
Well,
Whose life has been destroyed
it's
now?
probably a sex phone operator. It seems like that's what's happened to a lot of old like service numbers.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
think it was an actual.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it like one of those kids ones? Like one of those kid like where you could call and then hear like Santa Claus or something like that. One of those is now a sex hotline or
That could
something.
be it, but I don't know. I just remember I think it was Angry Video Game Nerd. There was an
Mm.
episode where he what's called had I guess he had a manual or something, and it had like a hint
Right, and
line,
you could get like help. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it was maybe it wasn't like a phone thing, but was something where you're kind of like whoa. I guess that's the only thing you would go kind of like
yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
Oh well, but I guess there's not much more to say about Wimp Squeak. So should we go on to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
The gang's all here.
Was that a also a tie-in to
I don't
something?
think so, unless it could be kind of. I guess it's sort of tie in with Armor Hunters, not in terms of the actual events there, but remember he was kind of in South America when he was picked up.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking that this has something to do with
So I
that.
think I'm guessing this is taking place midway through all of this. But I like this one. I mean, it's again not super important.
Yeah, this was one of those where I wanted to know a little bit more.
Yeah, true, but it's I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that Batman animated series episode, the one where like those villains are
Oh,
like playing cards.
playing poker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a good where they start talking about how they almost killed Batman.
Yeah, and it turns out that Batman was Killer Croc. Oh, spoilers! It was kind of fun like that. And honestly, actually, be honest. Did you predict the ending, or
No,
did you think that was Bloodshot coming in there, or
no, I didn't. I didn't. I mean, again, it happened so quickly. I didn't even think about it. And honestly, I mean, I knew that someone was going to be Bloodshot, but it happened so quickly. And again, I didn't know these characters, so
mm,
they just went back and forth and killing each other. So I was like, well, I guess the last one standing is going to be Bloodshot. Didn't think much about it. And not only that, but the guy who was Bloodshot was only in one panel before.
two,
I didn't even two, I guess.
three? I guess. Sorry. I know what you
No,
mean. Yeah.
two. Oh, well, three. Okay, yeah, kind of like his back.
Mm.
But that's what I mean. Like, I didn't even know who he was. So I was like looking through them all, like, wait, who is this guy? Like, when he was revealed, I was like, wait, he has a one on his shirt. Where did I see that? I like looking all over the place. I couldn't find him until I went back to the first page and saw it was the waiter or the bar owner or
Mm.
whatever.
Though
It's just like, I mean, come
I
on.
mean, yeah, as you said, it's a short story, so it's not really much time to have any foreshadowing or anything. But it is kind of foreshadowed in the last panel on the first page there, because obviously Bloodshot made a mistake and used the good stuff. So, what are you doing serving the good stuff? It's the other bottle, you dummy. The hell's
Mm,
wrong with
yeah.
you? Again, it's fine. I mean, we'd assume maybe these guys aren't the smartest or anything. But,
Yeah, true.
looking
I mean,
back,
I
that's
guess
kind of a
that's
nice
ridiculous.
little.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been cool with a longer story with this setup. Like really getting to know these bounty hunters, I guess. And yes, kind of like, maybe like really flesh them out, which I guess would feel kind of pointless since they'd all get killed.
Right.
It's kind of fun. And it also reminds me a bit of the Days of Future Past movie when the Peter Dinklage's character turns on that mutant seeker and it starts
Mm-hmm.
beeping right in the room because Mystique's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just love the I don't know, I like because you'd have to assume that this is pure coincidence how it happens. Because it's just like that road just happens to come in there and it starts beeping. It's like there he is.
Well, I mean, I think the whole thing was kind of coincidental. The fact that he even had a machine that was going to identify him. I guess he was just going to, integrate himself into the group and then kill them off one by one on a slower state. But you know what? This could be a really nice short film.
Mm.
I would love to see someone who has access to actors and camera equipment and stuff like that to actually make this as like a web short or something like that. Because this could really be a nice little thing because there's a quick setup, there's action in it. You don't necessarily need to know who Bloodshot is. This could be a nice little trailer for the movie, for example, or something like that. Like I don't know. I mean, yeah, you watched 500 Days of
Oh yeah.
Summer, right? Well, the two main actors and the director did like a little kind of short movie that kind of accompanied the movie. It kind of was like a mood board for the movie, but yeah, like a short film. And it was really nice. It was just like a had nothing to do with the characters themselves, but it was a nice kind of tone. And I feel like this could be something like that. It could be like 2 or 3 minutes long, and we would immediately know who Bloodshot is, what kind of character he is, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like give a little bit of a threat to who he is. I would really like to see that. I really like to make it, but I don't have the capabilities to.
So yeah, no, you're right. I mean, this one works the best as a short out of all of them. So at least out of the short ones, because as you said, it was like a yes, quick setup, easy to understand. I don't know, I really like the whole him coming in there and just the little guy was right, device works perfectly. And just something fun about basically them killing each. Oh yeah, I was thinking of this when I read it. Running that South Park episode, Little Crime Stoppers. Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end when they're like killing each other because they're all betraying each other.
Yeah.
So can't trust anybody, not even myself.
Oh man.
All right. So I guess that's our jungle adventure. Then we have Bloodshot's Guide to Home Safety.
Ugh.
Well, it's the guy he seems to be like in every kind of like anthology title.
Yeah, I just do not like the art at all. It's just not my type of art style. I cannot enjoy this.
Mm. And I like it. I mean, again, yeah, it's not pretty, but I feel there's this purposeful, like, grittiness to it. Like this, like, I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean we talked about it last time when uh, he was also in that.
Yeah, I think it was,
It's just I don't know. It's just a typical art style that I really just I can't get behind.
mm. Yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, honestly, I guess, because again, he's not like bad, I feel, but
No, no,
it's,
no. I mean everything's right. Like proportion wise, everything's correct, and the drawings are really nice. Like he is obviously an artist that knows what he's
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
It's just the stylistic choice that I'm not a fan of. It doesn't mean that he's bad or anything like that. It's just like I just can't get behind it. It doesn't rub me the right way.
So yeah, no, that's fine. I was just meaning like overall, not really like writing wise, but what's it called I don't know, just kind of what's the word? Maybe just like maybe I just didn't find it super funny because it feels like it should
Mm-hmm.
be, but I don't know. It feels very I don't want to say phoned in because again there's definitely been effort put into it, but I don't know. It just doesn't really tickle my funny bone. Like it feels like it should be pretty funny,
Right.
and you know me, I can laugh at most
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just kind of like, yeah, it's maybe like they're trying too hard or something. I don't know.
Mm. I don't know. I guess I don't really know. I mean, I didn't find it that funny either. So I was just like reading through it and just I read through it just to read through it.
Mm. I do like the second last panel though. I mean, it's not as cool, of course, as the actual event when we saw it in Harbinger Wars.
Mm.
I don't know. I like that
Yeah.
the skin peeling off there is like delightfully disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it then on him.
Yeah. I guess so.
Actually, there's not much more really. I mean, we have one of those cover galleries again.
Yeah, that was kind of nice to look at.
Yeah, I have. Let's see here. I think it's one, two, four, five, six. I think it's the first 6 or 8 volumes at the top there, or like issues. I have in that the thing I got in the Humble Bundle. They had like this Bloodshot the Master volume, which had like the first 8 volumes in it. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I think I told you about this already. In the original, Bloodshot was actually like an ex-mafia guy.
Yeah. Yeah. You said yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. What's called? It was kind of fun, from what I remember. If there's ever another sale on the Comixology, I'll probably get the other Bloodshot issues.
Okay, cool. Um, why didn't they advertise things that I want?
Oh, the game? It
Mm,
actually looks pretty good. Those screenshots at the bottom actually look really nice.
right? Why doesn't this game exist?
Well, they had something, but we can't play it anymore.
Why not?
There was a phone game that came out in conjunction with the Harbinger Wars,
Hmm.
but you can't download it anymore. So, and it was just kind of like a similar game as it looks there. This kind of like Contra kind of thing. So where you're Bloodshot and you're just, yeah, jumping around, shooting things. But it looks nice. I mean, this really looks like, do you have old like American like comic books with ads like this, or?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have some new ones even with those kind of ads in them.
Yeah, but it's just, but there's, yeah, but the old like early '90s stuff has a certain look.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I follow this Tumblr called, I think it's called like old video game like ads, and
Mm.
it's just so delightful to see like the way they try to, like sell you these games.
Yeah, entice you to do these things because they have to really work your imagination because they can't just show screenshots and be like, look how cool. Now it's all like, believe us, it's fun. It looks like shit, but it's gonna be fun, guys.
No,
Look at
exactly.
these amazing 32-bit graphics,
So
which I don't think they had. It was only wasn't it 8, 16, and then 64.
it says 16-bit system here.
Yeah, I know, but like I just said like a 63 or 36-bit console, and I don't think they or graphics, and I don't think they had that
Yeah,
ever.
no, they double. So there were 32-bit, which was like the PlayStation and Sega
Yeah, yeah,
Saturn.
yeah. Anyway,
And then Nintendo 64, yes, Nintendo just went, no, 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 let's skip to 64.
mm,
Yeah, no, it's nice, but it is one of those things where it is again pity and pity. Things happen how they did. But it reminds me just how little other like in like media adaptation there is of Valiant properties.
yeah.
So it's I mean again we're gonna get the whole Ninjak versus the Valiant universe soon enough. We got the
And we also need to play Turok if we ever get a chance to.
which one?
Turok?
Not true. And Shadow Man.
Yeah,
But again, like Turok, as we've mentioned, isn't owned by them, so
I know, but still, it's close enough.
yeah, yeah. But that's the thing, it's would have been cool if they managed to get some of these like in those days, because it'd be fun to have like an old NES or SNES, like Bloodshot the side scroller,
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
yeah, yes, Contra basically. So it'd just be cool. Like,
Couldn't we mod that?
hmm?
We could totally mod that, couldn't we? Just take Contra and then put like a Bloodshot looking sprite in there.
Honestly, it would be easy enough. I mean, you just turn him like
You just have to,
white and
you just
give him like a red spot.
yeah, you just basically replace the frames.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too
I'm
hard if we know
gonna
how
have to look into
to
that.
if we
Yeah,
know how to mod or hack. I guess it's a ROM hack
yeah,
for like an old
yeah.
game
I
like
guess you
that.
just make a ROM hack. I need to look into that.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's enough material to make those like really simple stuff there. Plenty of like,
Yeah,
I mean, you can take like all those kind of like, what's called like Harbinger characters as enemies. Like Harada has enough like egg breakers, so to speak, to make for like bosses or mini bosses. And I guess probably Rising Spirit. Actually, yeah, there's enough material to make like the most generic kind of game.
we should just make a Bloodshot game.
Well, let's not promise our audience too much.
No, of course not.
So, but yeah, no, another fun ad in this book. And I think that's Clayton Crane. I think he's done this cover for something else, and they just put it on this box because that's definitely his art style.
Mm.
And not a complaint or anything. It's just I feel I've seen it in one of the previous volumes.
Yeah, I remember from your shirt.
Oh, that's a different one though.
I know, but like I remember the art style from your
Yeah, but
shirt.
it's a different art style though. Either way, and yeah, that's kind of done in that sense. I mean, then we have the director's cut, which
I gotta say, I really like the the addition of the script pages in the back.
Well, they seem to be
Because
doing
with
that
comics
now.
and film, yeah, I know. I mean, every issue since like 3 issues ago, since the Death Defying Doctor Mirage, has um, had those scripts in the back, and I really love it because it just I don't know. I like a little bit of a behind the scenes kind of look at this stuff. And especially with comic book pages or comic book scripts, it's always so hard to kind of understand how they're written because everyone writes them differently. Because there's no like, it's not like with screenplays or teleplays where there's like a written down rules of how to, set everything up and how to write it. And with comics, like it's just a letter to the artist. And I just love seeing how different writers write them. Just like with the way here, like he has, um, like he doesn't write out like panel one and then explain it. It's just one and then dash or one, uh, and then he has this little you know bubbles written out and stuff like that. I think it's just really interesting to read and see how they construct it.
So yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. And again, as we were discussing, like in earlier volumes when they were using like an old issue to fill it in, like to pad the volume. Like this is definitely
Yeah.
more fun and definitely shouldn't cost too much. I mean, the script's written.
No. Right. Exactly.
Give it
Just
to an
taking.
intern
I
to
mean, sometimes.
Photoshop it so it looks a little nicer, with the whole.
Yeah. I was listening to the Nerdist comics panel a couple of days ago, and they had this one person on that said that her script was also going to be published at some point, and she said that she has to go back and clean it up a little bit because it is just so not personal, but like she didn't write it thinking other people will read it except for the artist, right?
I bet Frank Miller wishes he did
So
that.
yeah, no, but it's just one of those things where where she was like, I think I need to go back and just rewrite it a little bit and tidy it up a little bit so that it's more readable to the public. And I'm pretty sure they did that with these scripts as well. But either way, it's just nice to see how they format stuff and how they write stuff.
So yeah, no, it's true. I mean, but it's one of those things where it feels a little. I mean, I get why you would do it, but it feels a bit not so genuine then, because it's not the raw actual creation now. Now it's like the prettied up version of it.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, you're publishing it. I mean, and you're putting your name to something that you've written. You don't want.
Better remove all these racial slurs.
No, no, but like, no, but she was saying stuff like there was certain stuff that she like jokingly she said that instead of having the text originally be something like, "Oh, just do whatever you want here," she would kind of describe the panel that was already drawn, just that it looks like it's more like she knew what she was talking about.
Mm.
So so that it doesn't look like she's just like, "Oh yeah, just like make the ground misty or whatever. I don't care." Just like see what you want to do, stuff like that. Because again, it just comes across a little bit weird if you're the writer and then it just looks like you're half-assing it the entire time when actually, you've had conversations with the artist and you kind of know what the artist wants. So you're just kind of like, well, if you want to experiment here a little bit, experiment a little bit. That's fine. So yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, but yeah, no, it's. I mean, I like it too. I mean, it at times it can feel a little. I mean, I'm not, a script writer like you. So, so I'm not. I don't have this.
I'm not a script writer either, dude.
Hey, you have written scripts. So,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're a great one.
Yeah, or even a good
So,
one.
but a script writer nonetheless. It's like the art thing I told you about.
Yes,
You know.
true.
But yeah, no. So I don't have like this. I guess this love of the craft interest in it. And
True.
honestly, like at times, for me, it feels like in a way, it kind of feels like, why am I reading like the worst version of the story?
Right.
I,
Why am I reading to the instructions of something that I've already like read in its final
yeah,
product?
I mean, like, I don't know. I saw an awesome splash page of him getting blown up. Why am I reading a short description of it?
Right.
Again, no, I mean that in the nicest way possible, because obviously it shows, it's. I mean, you could say that with any behind the scenes thing. Why am I looking at a pencil test?
Yeah.
why not just look at the final product? So it's all about where
Right.
our skills and interests lie. Also, like the stuff they've done now too, and I think this is going to be standard as well. The freeway like split or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually really nice to see.
Just a pity, like, I don't know, not a pity, but it's just tricky sometimes to get like a good page to split it up in, because you kind of want to see like all of them at once rather than having it split up like free. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to see the divide. Actually, do you know what I love? Like a digital version of it where I can actually drag like the mask of it.
Yeah.
Yes, you just kind of like, okay, let's see. Oh, cool, and then oh, cool, nice. This cool seeing the the split. It's really nice just hearing like this. I mean, this is the closest we can get to commentary, I guess,
True.
because you can't really. I mean, I guess you could re-release the comic, kind of like they did here, but they could like put like more captions on top, like as you're reading it. So you're just like you'll have like said like the page 105 with him getting like shot like that. Then you could totally ruin that image with just a lot of captions all over it about the artist and writer.
Yeah.
We really felt that this
Yeah.
page had to be totally textless.
We do not understand the irony of this statement.
Well, again, it's not like they you can't read the original, but yeah.
Right, right. All right. Seems like we got through this pretty well for something that we had like no questions prepared for. We did quite a long
Well, I
episode.
guess because we kind of when there's not much to discuss or like not too much like I guess meat, we kind of either
Hmm.
wander a bit.
Ah, I see what you did there. Meat because Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I laugh.
Okay.
So no, but it's kind of nice. I mean, it was a fun little thing. Like I said, I like having these kinds of things, and you said too with the filler stuff.
Hmm.
So I think this is kind of like a nice. It's a little bit of an anticlimactic thing since it's not really continuing anything from last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you've read the next thing he's in,
Oh, yeah.
and it'll be soon enough actually. So
Yeah. Two more episodes after
yeah.
this.
So I guess we're not saying goodbye for so long actually. At least we're saying goodbye to him having his own like named title.
Okay. I know you were just clickbaiting me, so.
But yeah, I guess that's about it then.
Yep.
That was the 48th episode of Hardcast, detailing Bloodshot Volume 6. You can discuss this episode on Reddit, tweet us, or you can follow us on Facebook. Links are in the show notes. Also, all of our episodes are available on our hosting site, Podbean. Catch us next time for our next episode, which I think Chris will really like, discussing Eternal Warrior, Days of Steel.
What up?